Hi, and welcome to Inspire Me to Greatness. I'm Susana Kennedy, and with me today I have Tyrone Pillay. Welcome to the show, Tyrone. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Very good, thank you. Tyrone, I think maybe we should just start off with who are you? If you had to clump into a nutshell of about 30 seconds to a minute, how could you tell our audience who you are?
Firstly, I'm actually a disabled athlete. I know the term sounds a bit weird to understand. I actually have a left foot disability where I'm kind of missing about 30 centimeters of my left foot. I'm also a South African shot putter, so I actually compete as part of our disabled team. Over and above that, I'm also a person who believes in giving back to my community, and one of my biggest drives and challenges at this moment in time is fitting kids with prosthetic limbs across the country.
Well done. I think that you did an excellent job of putting yourself into your
Yeah,
wonderful introduction. What
I'm
is
a bit of a
shot
big guy, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to fit everything in.
put? No, but at least we'll allow the audience to get a glimpse of who you are
Okay.
and what you're about in the next few minutes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Just going back to shot pulling, I had to actually Google it. I
Yeah.
had no idea what it was. So perhaps you can tell us what it is.
Okay. So basically, it's actually shot put. You throw a metal shot in the air as far as you possibly can. In my case, it weighs 6 kgs. So you have to literally,
And that's a metal ball. Am I
yeah,
correct?
yeah. It's a little like it's probably around about that big or so.
So I definitely wouldn't be able to lift that and chuck it.
I I I
I'm so
I
like
think you probably
doing
would be.
that at the moment.
I don't believe in the word can't. So for me, I believe you possibly can.
It, possibly in the future, if I had to work hard like you do, I probably could. At present, I haven't been to gym in the last 2 years, so I at the moment can't. Let's put it that way.
Okay, let's look at it another way. If I spend a month training you, I think you'll be able to throw the shot put.
Okay, yes, I agree. That's totally possible. What inspired you to get involved in this sport?
Um, I got to be honest, I played able-bodied cricket for over 14 years, and one of the problems was I was never accepted for my disability, so I would never make any able-bodied squad because of that. So then I realized I needed to accept my disability and who I was, and going to a sport that would actually accept me. And I remember watching the Paralympics in 2008, and then I said to myself, "Hey, I could possibly do this." But the question was, what was I going to do? And obviously, being as big as I am, I touched the scales at 111. So obviously, running wasn't the best option. So I had to go for something like shot put or discus, which I actually chose to do.
That's awesome. Um, what do you feel has been your most notable achievement to date for you?
I gotta be honest when I say this, and I'm a proud South African. So every single opportunity you get to wear the green and gold is the ultimate. The very first time I did have that honor was in 2011 at the IWAS World Games, and for me that was the greatest honor. I don't measure myself by winning medals and breaking world records. The fact that I had the opportunity of living my dream of being a South African athlete is the ultimate goal for me.
That's wonderful. Absolutely. What an honor to be able to wear the green and gold. Um, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, I, with being disabled, you were saying just now that you had to get to the point where you kind of realized that you were disabled and then went forward from there. What has been the biggest challenge in your life with your disability?
I think one of the things was for me to accept it. I have to be honest when I say this. I've only accepted it probably the last 8 years of my life. The rest of the time, I actually hid away from it, didn't accept it, didn't embrace it. And now I'm so confident about what I have because I realize why I have it. I have it to inspire others, not for any other reason.
Yeah, it's amazing how once you accept yourself fully, how
Exactly.
you can prosper so much, isn't it?
Totally. I think it's a realization that everybody goes through. And yeah, you just grow from there.
Um, Everybody's got different definitions of success. My definition of success varies from many other people's. What is your definition of success?
As a sportsman, obviously, I would say yes, success would be being the best at what you do, kind of thing. That's also a bit of a tough one because I also look at life totally differently. I'm not always a sportsman. I work full time, so obviously I look at success in different folds. But achieving the goals that you set for yourself would be a success, in my opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the best at what you do, but if you have achieved your goals and your personal targets, that's a success in my book.
Great. Um, what is your definition of love?
Oof. um, Now you really put me on the spot there. Love to me is something that's unconditional, something that you share with people, not just necessarily one person, but people in general, and the human soul itself. So it's a common understanding that you'd have towards each other, and the love that you would share with each other. I hope that explains it. That was sounded like a really bad answer.
No, it didn't sound like a bad answer at all. It didn't sound like a bad answer at all. What is the most exciting thing happening for you at the moment?
Oh, at the moment, there's so many things. Hey, I've actually had the honor of literally touring 4 countries in 3 months, competing, and my athletics career is on the up. My social life is really good. I've actually met someone, and things are really growing really well for me. So I think at this moment in time, as an holistic approach to life, I think everything is just falling into place for me.
That's wonderful. That's really, really fantastic. And I'm a
Okay.
complete hopeful romantic. So
Yeah.
I really hope that your relationship flourishes as well as your career.
Well, it's actually funny because we know each other for over 18 years. We went to school together, so obviously, it's good knowing someone for that long. It makes it a lot easier. And funny enough, we actually haven't seen each other for ages, and then when you connect as if it was just yesterday. So it's an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. That's really, really
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
If you had to pick the three most important qualities you believe you need as a person to have a successful life, not only in business but in love and all your relationships and as a human being, what would those three qualities be?
I think you need to be hardworking, irrespective of what it is, whether it be relationships, work, sport, whatever life or facet of life. Hardworking. You have to give everything you got. You got to be determined. You basically have to be driven. Those would be my three best, I would say.
So, hardworking, determined, and driven.
Yes.
Great. What is the best question you've ever been asked in an interview? I know that everybody's haggling you for interviews at the moment.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah, at the
best question?
moment it's a bit of a madhouse. I mean, every corner I turn, there's something or somebody that wants a piece of me. I don't know how come I've become like this. But one of the most popular questions I always get asked, and I love this question, is who is my role model? And I gotta be honest with you, it's my parents. My dad is late. He's passed on now 12 years, but it's my dad and my mom. And without a doubt, I will never change that answer for anything in the world.
That's absolutely brilliant. How wonderful and blessed you are to have had parents that are your biggest role models.
Especially for somebody growing up with a disability, it's not easy. I had to grow up in a very tough sort of a time where, kids would torment you. It wasn't as it is now where people actually are embracing disability and changes in life. So for me, I had that family support, which most people don't have. And I'm so grateful to it because it's made me the man that I am today. And I owe everything to my parents.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I don't know if you know Jessica Cox. She's the
No.
first pilot to get her license with no arms.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
um,
Impressive.
she also said that her parents were, and I say pilot as in human being, to
Yes.
get her license without arms. And she also said her parents played a huge part in it. They treated her like a normal child with no disabilities always.
Yes.
Um, do you feel that your parents did the same for you?
I sometimes feel they're a bit too hard on me, actually, to be honest with you. Uh, like I said, when I played cricket, my dad was the manager of the team, and he would like literally sit me out of the team, and I used to always question him, why are you doing this? He says, until you learn that you're not bigger than the team you'll play against. So it was like, you never had the privileges of yes, there's something wrong with me, and you're going to get special attention. I even remember the one day I broke my leg, and I was sitting on the sofa and I couldn't get around. So he's like looking at me and he says, so what are you waiting for? I'm like, no, I broke the leg. So he says, so when nobody's around and you break your leg, what are you going to do? And that's when I realized I got to fend for myself. I got to do things for myself. And it happened at a very early age for me. And it was because of them. And I got to be honest with you. I know he's not here today, but he's looking down upon me and he's actually proud of the man that he raised. So yeah, I'm really blessed to have both my parents.
Yeah, he definitely must be very proud. And yeah, it is, I think it is a lot about treating your
Yes.
kids like there isn't a difference, that they can do anything, believing that
I
they
think
can.
one of the good things for me was that it was everyone. It was also my friends. My brother was amazing as well. We would play football against each other, and he wouldn't even back down from a tackle. So it would be like he'd run into me and drop me down, and you'd think he's going to take it easy. Those were the characteristics that molded me. So I actually owe him a lot. I don't generally tell him that a lot, but yeah, I do owe him a lot.
Well, you can tell him to watch the interview and he'll know.
I will do that.
On that note, what is the best piece of advice that you've ever gotten, and who was it from?
Um, I gotta be honest, it was probably the teacher that I had when I was in primary school. One of the very few people that actually gave me a chance when I was young, in sport. He always said to me, remember that there's always one better than you and there's always one worse than you. So I couldn't quite understand it, but I realized it was the thing that would uh, take me on a little bit further. Susanna, can you just give me 1 second, please? I won't be long. Just give me 1 minute, right?
Okay, we are in a live
Oh,
broadcast.
sorry, sorry. No, there's people constantly walking into rooms. You just need to tell
Oh,
them that they
shame.
actually that they can
We'll be
just stop.
finished in 2 minutes. I've got
Okay,
one more
okay,
question for you.
okay. No problem.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to
So
know, I know that you're passionate about making a difference, and I know that you've started a foundation or are very involved in a foundation.
yeah.
Can you please tell us a little bit about the foundation, what you do, and how people can help and assist?
Okay. So basically, this is obviously going to be the longest one, so we're going to have to spend some time on this. The the one of the biggest things is the fact that the charity is called Jumping Kids. It supports kids with prosthetic limbs. So it's actually started about 5 years ago. And one of the main focus is we're going from province to province to try and find kids that need prosthetic limbs. So you get crazy people such as myself who decide to challenge themselves and actually do the most ridiculous things. So I decided to climb up the Moses Mabhida stairs, which is a total of 500 steps, in an
Sure.
attempt to raise R500,000 for the charity. We actually managed to raise 850,000. So that money then went towards us fitting in the region of about 12 kids with prosthetic limbs. And if you know anything about prosthetics, the cost of prosthetics are really expensive. They range from around about 15,000 going up to 45,000. And if you have a double-legged amputee, those are two legs, so effectively you're talking 90,000 rand, which is quite a lot of money if you think about it. So one of the things is I'm going to do constant challenges. I'm actually planning something in the next 2 months. I'm going to try and do something ridiculous again. I know people love seeing all these things that I come up with. So hopefully in the next few months I can share more about it. But I want to try and raise about 200,000 rand. It's for two kids in particular that don't have prosthetic limbs at this moment in time. So we want to try and support them. Jumping Kids is obviously the charity. They are based in Johannesburg at this moment in time, but they're all around the country. So if we find kids that are in Cape Town, for argument's sake, that needs prosthetic limbs, we would actually come across there, make the prosthetic limbs. And the advancements in technology means we can actually do it in a couple of days. So it's done and we're out of there, kind of. So it's really an
That's
amazing,
amazing. That's
yeah.
wonderful. So do you prefer people to wait for actual events, or do you have an ongoing
Well,
fundraising system that people
there's an
can donate?
Well, it's not only fundraising. People can donate as and when they want to. It's on the Jumping Kids website, so it's jumpingkids.org, I think it is. I
Jumping
think yeah, Jumping
jumpingkids.org.
Kids. Yeah, so if you Google Jumping Kids, you'll actually see the website. I can actually give you more details later. I don't have everything on me at this moment in time. and from there people can donate money. There's a link towards all the contacts, everything that you need to do. People can even try and contact me directly as well, through Facebook,
Perfect.
Twitter. So if anybody wants to be in touch with me, they can assist through there as well, and I
Okay,
can
so
put them.
they should follow you on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes, my handle is Tyrone Pillay, so you can just follow me on that. There will be constant updates as to the challenges that we're doing, the ways that we're trying to raise money. In fact, jumping is actually so massive at this moment in time. We have celebrity cycle tours, we got athletes climbing stairs, we have golf days, we have lots of things going on. And one of the key things is that I didn't mention is that we support these kids for 3 years. It's not a matter of
Oh,
we just leave them
wonderful.
and that's it. So as you might know, kids are growing all the time. So we need to support them as they develop. And that's one of the things that we're looking to do.
That's absolutely wonderful. This might be a completely ignorant question, but do they grow out of their prosthetic limbs? And what do you do with the limbs that they've grown out of?
Unfortunately, there's not much that we can do with the older ones because they're pretty much custom. It will be made
Okay.
specifically for your legs. So, say for example, me, I'm a really big guy, I have massive legs. It's very unlikely that anyone could fit into mine. So, unfortunately, we got to throw those away. But the things that we can use a lot of is the actual walking stock, the actual prosthetic limb itself, not the socket so much. So, those could get used again, depending on the life cycle of them.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. So,
Taryn,
it's a
thank you
really
so
big
much.
project.
I'm so glad that we finally got to chat to each other. I know
Oh,
we
brilliant.
tried before,
Yeah,
but
I
it's
know time with me is a bit difficult,
face-to-face.
and I appreciate the interview. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. And I just wish you all the best and that you go from strength to strength. And I'll be following you. And if you've got an event coming up or something crazy that you're doing and I can help in any way, or you want to do another interview, then we can set that up.
How about you come and climb one with me one of these days? How's that for a deal?
I'm not allowed in the sun. Any events that aren't in the sun,
Yeah.
call me. I'm there. I've got,
Okay,
I've
so then
got,
it's yeah.
no, I've got something called systemic lupus, so I'm not allowed in the sun. But
Okay.
but anything else, give me a shout and
So
I'll
we're gonna,
come.
we're gonna have to think of something that we can incorporate you into it. How's that for a deal?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Susanna. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All the best. Chat soon.
Thanks. Hey, take care. Bye bye.
Bye.